The east coast of the United States is bracing for a huge storm building in the Atlantic Ocean. Hurricane Sandy has killed at least 58 people already after passing through Cuba and Haiti. The storm is currently sitting off the U.S. state of South Carolina. A stretch of nearly 600 kilometers along the Atlantic coast will be affected. Residents are preparing for strong rain, storms and flooding, which are expected to do severe damage once Sandy makes landfall on Monday. Tom Ackerman has the latest.
Sandbags, the first line of defense, have been stacked along the coast from Virginia to southern New England. Boat owners were busy pulling their crafts out of the water.
Just getting out of the way of the hurricane, getting out of harm's way. Got to get her safe and dry.
And in the most vulnerable shoreline spots, including the casinos of Atlantic City, authorities have ordered evacuations. New Jersey's governor told people to heed the warnings and take all precautions.
I could be as cynical as any of you, but when the storm comes, if it's as bad as they're predicting it will be, you're going to wish you weren't as cynical as you might have otherwise been. So please, I'm not trying to be an alarmist here. I want everybody to be ready.
New York City's subway and bus system, which carries more than 8 million passengers a day, may be shut down late Sunday. A year after the same region was struck by Hurricane Irene, causing widespread flooding and wind damage, this storm promises to pack an even harder punch. It will combine a tropical cyclone from the Atlantic with an Arctic air mass moving in from the Midwest. The ingredients for what meteorologists are calling a superstorm. Officials are also advising people to be prepared for the aftermath, not only to stock up enough food and water, but also to do without power for up to 10 days or more. As the region's oil refineries are being shut down, the storm is also likely to make petrol more expensive for a while. One more factor accounting for the projected multi-billion-dollar cost of this storm. Tom Ackerman, Al Jazeera, Washington.
Well, Jay Gray is live for us in Rehoboth in Delaware. Jay, I've been watching just a fair few people walking around behind you. They all look quite relaxed where you are. What's the situation? What's going on?
Hey there, Laura. This is the time when they hold their annual Sea Witch Festival here, right before Halloween. So thousands have come to visit this coastal community. And as you talked about, the boardwalk right now, there are still people back there, but as you can see, it is starting to clear out. It was packed earlier. Again, thousands making their way down for this festival. The festival will continue tomorrow, though there is a warning from the mayor here that by 8 o'clock tomorrow night, anyone within 3/4 of a mile of the coast here should be out and up to higher ground. There are evacuations continuing up and down the Atlantic coast right now in some of the coastal areas. The idea is that this was moving day, time to move into position, move to higher ground if you'd like to move to get your supplies ready if you're going to ride this thing out. Tomorrow time will run out as the storm inches closer to making landfall, and that should happen sometime late Monday or early Tuesday along the New Jersey coast.
And Jay, what preparations should people be making if they are indeed going to sit tight and ride the storm out? What supplies should they be getting?
Well, emergency officials stress that you need non-perishables. You need things that you can eat and store without using a refrigerator. You also need to make sure you have batteries, flashlights, make sure that you have plenty of cash and that you have your car and vehicles and any generator you may have gassed up, because it's likely that a lot of the gas pumps won't work once the electricity is gone. And they're warning that the electricity could be out in some of the hardest hit areas for a week or longer. So this is going to be a rough go for quite some time. You talk about how large this system is. It's also been, to this point, very slow moving. And so with that in mind, they're going to see rain for extended periods of time. They're going to see high winds. That's going to knock down trees. That's going to do some damage to infrastructure. And it's going to knock down those power lines. So it's going to be a very difficult situation in many of these communities.
Indeed. And just talk us through the significance of the timing of this storm, just a few days before these very significant national elections.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. A lot of people stressing that if you want to vote, maybe you need to get out and vote early before this storm hits. So, yeah, it's something definitely that will add to the mix of what has already been a contentious and continues to be a well-fought election process here in the States. So, yeah, it's adding to that. But again, most people making sure that they're prepared for this storm, and then they'll deal with voting in the election.
Absolutely. Okay, Jay, thanks very much for updating us there on the situation in Delaware.